This program contains content that may not be suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is advised.
Woyinza okuteekerateekera ebiseera bye ebyo mu maaso essaala eddiddwamu. Honest Asset Developers Company egulidde erinnya mu kutunda ettaka n'amayumba ekuleetedde ettaka ku nguudo ez'enjawulo eziyingira n'okufuluma ekibuga Kampala. Balina ettaka Essonde ne Misindye ku Namugongo Road ne Kiwenda ku Gayaza Road. Ku Entebbe Road balina Nakawuka, Sisalutaba Express Highway ne Zil Phase 5. Ate ku Hoima Road balina Nansana Bujuuko, Koona Namasanga, Mabombwe Phase 6 and 7, Kakiri Mwera, Kakiri Magugu, Nampunge ne Gobero Muguluka. Amasannyalaze n'amazzi weebiri. Ate ng'ettaka lyabwe lya kyapa. Jjukira balina n'enkola y'ekibanja mpola ate n'okulambula kwa bwereere. Honest Asset Developers basangibwa Kampala ku Martin Road ku kizimbe kya Monkey Show Apartments. Okumanya ebisinga obakebereko ku mitimbagano gy'empuliziganya gyonna oba bakubireko ku noti 772 572 873 oba noti 701 572 873.
Hi, this is Kasuku. You must be wondering, how did I get here? I'm here to tell you about Delta Cash. Pasangwano anali ekizimbe kiriko Children's Clinic ku level 2 wogenda okubeera nga obasanga bagaba looni okuva ku million 2.5 paka ku million 5. Naye bo bakugamba nti tebaagala kyapa, tebaagala sima ya kinno, baagala logbook. Emmotoka yosigala ogivuga kasitoka kasante eri mu mannyago ng'oleeta logbook mu mannyago ng'oleeta bank statement tulabe sente zo zitambula zitya ng'oleeta ne national ID. Kasita tumala bitunulamu bagamba nti wakati wa 2 and 12 hours sente zo obeera oziyina nga zigudde ku account. Ng'ogenda abasuubuzi mugamba Kasuku URA emisolo gitulemye okkiriyalinga ebintu babikwatidde China osobola okuba ng'oli eyo ng'ogamba nti waliyo ate akaana kankutte njagala ndyerooni nkatwale wa e Dubai ng'omanyi nti zijja olina ddiiru z'ogamba essaawa olina kakola ki jangu wano enaalya ku Delta Cash. Osobola okugenda ne ku website yaabwe www.deltacash.ug n'ojjulizaamu awo nga tozze wano byonna byonna n'obeera ng'obijjulizaamu awo ate akasente ne kasobola okubeera nga kakusanga ku akawunti yo gy'oli. Emunaavaawo era Kasuku toyambye eggwanga lino obeera mu bya kisiru kati mbaleetedde Delta Cash. Emunaagaana owulira ffe tunaabeerawo banyumyako nti mwaggwamu wabi si wabi.
Aliya luzungu kade Kasuku tujikole sawa namba luzungu.
Luzungu tugenda musa
kujerera kutoka ntoko ndimbuzi ndimpuno ndiye
arabura babaddi abakyala
wale somero manyembuto katonda ya chembuto genda weji waminge
yabaweereza buno bukeeke obutini
singa babu mutwale bamusonseka mukamwa bwonna n'abufulumiza mu nnyindo.
Kibwa alina guno omuggo gwa Musa wayitista biblia mu detergent.
Waliwo wanagambye ebola y'akasajja kasendi kalimba bannange. Esendi bannange. Welcome to yet another edition of Kasuku Live. Yes. Abatula from all over the world, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Solo kubeera ng'oli China, oli ku Ryan's Restaurant. Abasajja ffe tulanga nabo wano. Ryan's Restaurant, Ryan Air Global Express Cargo. Oyinza okuba ng'oli China awo, ng'olya mmere kyamagero. Nga bw'otulaba. Then yeah, that's what's up. Anyway, Kasuku kukuwaza banga semanengene. Chitumera chikutemu. And today I'm happy to host one of the people. I don't want to say I love the most, but one of the people that shaped the the way I see things, that gave us the love for media, Mr. Robert Kabushenga. So,
wherever kumpita, I'm very happy.
Yes.
I am actually very, very impressed. Omulimu gwe mukola wano sebo sigwa kuzanyisa. Oli wa maanyi.
Thank you very much.
Ate si mu ddoboozi lyokka eri mu bantu. Naye ne kyendabye wano mu studio yo. Engeri gy'ogitegeseemu. Ekintu kiri professional no. Laba ebyuma bingi, sound mugikwata bulungi. Era onswazizzaamu kuba wayogera ka podcast kange naye ebintu by'olina byendabye wano. Nange oba ngende mu maaso.
Wakati gwe podcast yo muli virtual. Okay.
Kituufu naye
oli ali eryo n'ali eno.
Naye wendi awo mba ndowooza neetaagamu nja kulaba ekyokukola mmaze okulaba.
But then bw'onootaliko okuhostinga katinga zino beeziti then musobola okuba nga mukola kino. Abantu abasinga bagamba nnyo nti Kasuku oluseke and
ani atalina luseke
gye bali tobalaba kugondi ku X gye boogerera
buli omu alina oluseke oba asuubira okufuna oluseke.
But this studio eno product ya luseke tulina omugaga
ogifunyeemu nnyo ekintu eky'amagezi n'ekyomugaso.
Tulina omugaga waffe is the owner of this whole place. Omugaga waffe wa Code Base. So is one of those people I met along the way nga tukola emirimu nanjagala. So as he set up here his company and business nangamba mbawaddeyo ka space kano ngenda bakolera studio.
Kirungi nnyo.
So natukolera studio.
Ogwo gwe tugamba omukono kuteeramu omukono n'osobola okukola omulimu gwo
butereevu.
Yes.
So this is where we are wano wetwogerera ebyekisiru baganda bange bye mutugamba bifubutuka wano wetwogerera ebiri loko. Then sometimes we go outside ngap ekifobo kirabye we sit under the trees you know and all those things. But I'm happy to have you. For starters, I saw your tweet and I was like, wow, I was like, yeah, it's happening, ladies and gentlemen, because you know, the problem with Uganda, and I was actually telling one of these guys, Emboozi okusanga omuntu who has gone up, who is like there, not even just about the money.
Yes,
there are things. There are people we admire just because of the things they have done. Their IQ. Kati omuntu okujja n'akuteerako ka big up. Olusi sometimes we don't need someone to say kwatayo milioni 10. No, just someone to say Kasuku, you're doing a good job, and that's just it.
Yes.
So when I saw that, I was like, okay. So that's when I was like, let's go to interview. Ideally, this interview, tugendeko ku farm yo. I saw the NSSF guys when they visited you.
You will come and I show you what I do. Njagala tulaga abantu emirimu gye balina okukola mu kifo ky'okuddaawo mu Emboozi ne boogera tugende tukola emirimu egyennyini egy'amaanyi.
Bas kati mwami Kabushenga ono, I think I first heard about you. There is a friend of mine, he's still my friend actually, he's one of like those very 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 good friends. Nga tuli Kitende, I think senior 2. Atujoininga yali ava Buddo. So ndowooza babaali bamuchopinga Bukenya
nga biganye.
So he joins us and you know I think he came with that Buddo culture. They listen. So he tells us about Capital Gang. Those days twalinga tuwuliriza Late Date.
Bamugisha.
So he tells us about Capital Gang and yeah, we start listening in. So when we are at school, when we are even at home, that's when I first got to hear of you.
Okay.
Ngoliku Capital Gang.
Yes.
Then I think when you left Capital Gang, you went to the Media Center.
Yes.
Then from the Media Center, you went to New Vision.
I went back to New Vision. I had actually been at New Vision.
Yeah, you remember they said you had been at New Vision.
Yes.
So, but those days you were fat. Those days you were big, you were like me, you know?
Omanyi nga tulya nnyo. Alali obeera omuntu omukulu. So you come from home. Kati jukira madamu eka akufumbidde breakfast. Olidde amagi, omugaati, yogati obuugi kati n'oteekako kyayi sawa si emu kitundu otuuse mu ofiisi
nga babireese era
tebaleeterawo kati kusatu kitundu ne mugenda mu miitingi mu kkoona waliwo sumbuusa kabalagala amenvu amandaazi
ne flasika y'amata
ate eya boosi bayanjawulo kitegedde kati n'okoona awo n'omala between 9:30 and 11 oli ku kyayi w'amata oluvudde awo ogenze ku langi naye ogiridde ogimaze okomyewo kati ku ssaawa 12 bwe zityo madamu era nakola ki
nakugira. So you guys you never used to do like exercise?
I used to. I was actually quite active naye ng'era olaba oluusi omisingamu nemmere gye twali tulya yali nyingi kasoko emmere twali tulya nyingi we used to eat so much which was not necessary. Kati ate olweggulo omaze okulya ekyeggulo kati ate ku ssaawa 2 kitundu awo madamu n'aleetayo kyayi ne bukukizi nga lwaki toogejja. And also we were sitting a lot you know from morning 7 o'clock olutuuka mu office otudde oluvaawo mu office ovaamu 9 10 so you have to put on weight. It's just the nature of the job and that time naye kati nakendeezaamuko.
So it's this walking for you opted to walk.
Actually I run a lot. I do a lot of exercise. Nziruka nsota akagaali era ku makya bye nsooseemu. Era kati ako kagundi akatambike nakugamba omwana omu ku baana be tudduka nabo mu neighborhood bamuyita Payasi yakateeka ku mukutu kati omanya abaana tuli ku group tuli banjawulo emyaka abaana ne batandika okunjerega batandika okuseka lega omanya kintu kino Kasuku agenda kutambuza ekintu kino abaana bankube ku bolwali kabwesooke
nonsuulayo
kati ne tujjamu omukwano nga bw'olabye
baali balowooza ati 5 kwoziri.
Omanyi kyekimu n'eri ensonga gy'oleese when you're asking me about the capital gang and you know we tutuuka eri gye tutuuse waliwo ekintu kye mbadde njagala okwogera wano when we are here ti abantu tukkirize buli omu alina ekiseera kye bwe kiggwako kiriza okole ki
ogende kukiddako
basi kati naffe twaliwo mu biseera byaffe capital gang zowulira biki ne tukola bye twakolako ekiseera ne kituuka ne batugamba manyi muyongereyo kubanga waliwo eyabadde tunyumya naye nga sinnajja wano ku makya ne manyi ntambuza ogenda kola ki ngenda ku interview ne Kasuku naseka ne mutunya n'agamba naye manyi mu bosi akolawo mu gym nga bosi wanye ebintu bikyuse nnyo ne mugaye ebintu bikyuse nnyo olaba muzeeyi ayita bakasuku kati banyumya nabo agenda okubayita nga tamanyi nti fe abaali mu gye bayita mainstream media tetuliyo ate sijjukira olunaku n'olumu mu kampeyini eno omukulembeze yenna naddala pulezidenti n'abalala abaali mu kampeyini sijjukira nti bagendako ku mainstream media okola zi interview nga baali bakola luli nedda kati kino kiseera kyammwe mwe mukitambuza.
It is a shift apparent. It's just that most people tebakkiriza nti kize
kiwe kiri
and the faster they tap into it the better. But how was life? You dealt with the president so many times. How was life dealing with him? Like, did the president call you directly on your phone at some point?
Yes, a number of times.
And so how does it feel like, and you notice this is the president calling?
First of all, you won't notice, but you see the number. No manyanti ono ya State House. Kati bali ne bakutegeka.
Nti omukulu ayagala kwogera naawe.
Kuba oyinza okubanga oli mu karumu kali kotegedde.
Oli mu kasenge.
Oli mu kasenge. Kati omukulu abacha akunyonyola byakuyonyola gwe no flashing.
Nagamba, excuse me, what is happening there?
Oyogera nange ngoli kwegamba. You see, there's one thing what I want to explain a little bit. Omanya abantu beerabira. Kwa hiyo nibitubeeramu Emboozi bogeragera ku mikutu naki Museveni bichi. You must remember one thing. You see, there is a difference between the individual and the office of the president. President is a president.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter of which country. A president is a president. It's a very senior position in society. So when the president calls you, you must recognize that authority. He's not calling as if you munywa mwenna. No, he's the president of the country.
He's the head of state.
Head of state.
Abulira abantu million
Because
atano.
so olekecho after the president olozania dako.
God.
Ye yekka akirizibwa mu mateeka g'ensi yaffe okusalira ogw'okufa ne bakutta. Omulamuzi asalawo ye n'asayininga ne bakuteekayo. And he has that authority. Yeah. So ene bwe yakubanga kyali kisinziira era omanya engeri gye bakukubira n'omanya olwaleero munyiivu oba olwaleero alabika alina ensonga gy'ayagala ate tamala biseera aleta kubaakuba bintu bwe bityo. So for me that was my experience with him, and my experience was to try and minimize the need for him to call me. Toyagala buli kaseera akukubira amasimu. Yeah, you can be in serious trouble. So nga nze nkola byange ne mmanya nti kati wano simunyiziza basikoze kiki. Nengendero. Yes, that's yes. But you learn mpozi kyenayigamu. You learn how to deal with abantu abakulu. Abakulu oyiga omukulu omukwata bwoti. N'engeri gy'oyogeramu oyogera bwoti. N'omanya nti bw'omanya nti olina to buy time bwoti bw'okwata ensonga. Ne bw'obanga tokimanyiiko kyakubuuzizza. Waliwo ebintu byakukubiranga nakubuuza nti kino mwakikoze ng'ate amawulire mu office wavuddemu ku 9 tonnagalaba tomanyi mutwe guliko.
Randomly. Like yetaga an answer there.
Ye yasomye edda ku 11 ku makya gwe tonakimanya. Kati bwakubuuza nga tolina kyomanyi. Kiraba. Kati that's where nomanya nti when you're dealing with people in very senior positions, you have to be careful, you have to be sober, and you have to be steady. Ebintu byobirina, so otherwise you end up in a mess. So we managed somehow.
I see. Now,
ate n'ekirala yali tayingira nnyo mu bintu no gakuleka akuwa omulimu n'akimanya nti gy'oli Kasuku ogwo gwe mulimu gw'okola gukole.
And gwe ne weetuma wekka.
Kola ebibyo. Tajja kujja kujjukize gundi kola kino. Yeah.
I want us to go back now where it all began.
Yes.
At the Capital Gang.
Actually, it didn't begin at the Capital Gang. My journey in media actually started on the factory floor.
Factory of New Vision.
Ngambala mawulire ekiro. Nenga siba, nenga pakira ku pick up. Olumala. Kumacha nenkwata kopi yange. Nentambula ebigere okuva ku industry ya Wuyo Kololo zikiridde ngudde wandege ya nzizeyo Makerere.
Ku somero.
Kunaaba genda ku lecture.
So your campus days,
I was working.
You were working there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ku factory awo tubala mawulire tugaloadinga ofunayo 13,000 mu weeki.
13,000? Like 3,000?
Yes, nezali sente nyingi.
So today we could equate it to how much?
Mitwalo nga nkaaga.
Today?
Every week.
Every week?
Hey.
Wow.
Nga nze sijjukira lwe nali siriddeko ku mugaati nga ndi Makerere.
All your time there?
Ne blue band sewo. Yeah, we worked. So Kati, when I was working there, but I was studying law, then I decided, okay, now I want to work in media. This is what I want to do. So when Mala, then at some point, nenva mu vision nenzira mu monitor.
Hey, you went to monitor?
Yes, actually, that's where I started my formal employment. My first formal job was as legal and administration officer of the Monitor Publications.
So when mulimu Timothy. Musajja wange Timothy.
Hey, you legal officer wawe. Hey. Kati nze naliyo kati oluveeyo Paiki
company secretary.
Ne bampita nengenda nenfuuka legal officer eri mu then I became company secretary. But the most interesting story is how I ended up on the Capital Gang. Nga mpuliriza Capital Gang nga ne bannange Katonda nanyamba nimbeerako mu bantu abo.
Which year is this?
1998.
98?
Hey.
Oh.
I'd just turned 30.
98?
I was now legal officer. Era waliwo nagendayo olumu ku lw'omukaaga ne mbalaba mu studio awo era nkyakijjukira nga bali ku Bowman House kwakwatudde ku controls. Obo ali wali, Katusima ali wali, Winnie Byanyima ali awo era Mama Mbabazi ali awo. I remember that particular show.
Mama Mbabazi was a gangster.
No, he was a guest.
He was a guest there.
That day. Lwengendayo okubalaba. Naye omuntu yali baddeko mu kampuni eno. Notula ni ku bantu ng'abo ne munyumya.
But did Mama Mbabazi have that aura?
Oh yes, he has always been like that.
He's one of those people that have tortured my mind for so long a time. I've come close to him like 4 times. We've not really spoken.
No,
there's a way that guy
carries himself.
You just feel like...
Me, I had the privilege and opportunity of working very, very closely with him. So I know what you're talking about.
But even like on a one-on-one day with him,
he's a very good.
He does not rush.
No.
He you know?
Ateto mupapya mu bino byo ngaina kyakunyonyola. You sit and wait.
What?
Sit and wait. Tapa kukata kolachi. And he carries himself well. With dignity.
Yeah, but he's soon coming to Kasuku Live.
Oh!
I had the opportunity of I had to meet him.
Funyo omukisa gwa maanyi. Ero nyambye ne musookayo kubanga can you imagine? Nze atokudda ngama.
He's coming to Kasuku Live soon because there's some time when namwogerako then we were doing the grand opening of Shrine Kabalagala. So he sent his PA and driver, hey, I want to greet that guy, but I was already live.
Okay.
So there's no way I would break the live. So I think Narinda atenga tugenze. So they told me he wants to meet you and he wants to talk to Kasuku Live.
Chikole.
So any time now.
Kati nze kansooka ebyange bitsoge ebyaffe bamufuna mpola katsoge tuve mu day.
Today wali
so kati Kwaku was my friend.
Kwaku.
Patrick Kwaku.
He's the owner.
He was the owner of Capital Radio, him and William Pike. But he was the one running that show.
Oh.
So rumune mukaliramu. Mugane Kwaku nange mazima.
Bompa.
Oluzungu ndumanyi. Okwogera obwogezi mpanvugemu nanga nosobola nebuga umanyi bulungi nanga akaba kugezezeeko because somebody was missing. So I became a filler
as a panelist.
Bwatabeerawo omuntu
ngojja
nga nzija.
Oh, so they had the panels from way back
from 1996.
Okay.
It's just that people have changed. So the most interesting lesson I learned out of that, now, there was a girl, I think she's called Agnes Tisa. She was the one in charge of organizing the show. So when Patrick allowed me to go there for once, I made sure I performed well. But because I knew the people, each of the individuals on the panel, so first of all, chemistry is important.
Yeah.
Kati, nenchimanya nti nze okubeera regular wano. Omuntu gwe nina okufuna omukwano neyo oli omuwala ekubira abantu amasimu
okujja.
Agnes kati bwe mutumala show nga Agnes okumpe ku namba n'agimpa kati nga mukubira olwokusatu ne muga Agnes wendi bwe wabeerayo opening. And luckily for me, for 4 weeks in a row there was someone missing, and I made in life Kasuku make someone else's life easy. They will rely on you. Kati Agnes nga takyatawaana kunoonya who do I have for Saturday. It's her job.
Yeah.
Nze ne muga nti gwe tofaayo.
Oze wendi.
Ne kubira ku mwendo ogw'ekiro ku Lwokutaano in the morning ne mba ndi mu bbaala nja kuvaayo nzije. Nanga don't worry. For 4 weeks in a row I was appearing. Now the good thing with that nti the feedback was that okay, it's good to have that guy. Sounds Kati, then another coincidence happens. Kati, Patrick was setting up a radio station in Nairobi. Nga ebyokutambula, go to Nairobi, come back, do the Capital Gang, takyabisobola. Kati nga banoonya replacement host. Ne munga Patrick naye mbaddewo mazeewo emyezi gyange 2-3.
Akafo kampe.
Mpanvugemu naawe. Motoka eyinza okunnema. Bweta sibwe nfuna omulimu.
Nakugamba nti tuula.
Nenchikuba weekend emu. They made comments, this and that. Then now I became friends with the producer. A guy called Bill Tivingana, who is one of the smartest radio people I know in Uganda.
You took him to Vision.
Oh, yeah. I call out radio and TV Vision. So Bill tells me, so Bill would, after the show, Bill, Nangamba, you should do like this, you should do like this. That's how I was trained by Bill, who was much younger than me. Yeah. So that's now how I come into broadcast. In Misana, or during the week, I was functioning as a legal and officer of Audio Vision. Then on the weekend, Katiwe Mara, Ningende wa Buembo. Buembo was at that time the editor of Sunday Vision.
Joachim.
Yeah. Nga Joachim, lwaki tumpayo kola munange mpandikeko. Luzungu ndumanyi.
First wait. So because you know when you're telling me this stuff, at some point me I just felt like you were a planned kid.
No,
you had connections with the guys who came in power.
No.
You went through the ranks.
Yes. In fact, the person who got me the job, the factory floor job, you will be shocked. The person who gave me the job was a Muteso man.
You just went to him randomly?
No, not randomly. Thankfully, he happened to be my brother-in-law.
Campus.
It is the lowest job. Nobody will disturb you. Casual labor. Jango kole. Chiringa bana abasitula wheelbarrow ku site. So that's how I end up in the media. So all of these other connections that have come because I have deliberately made an effort to make a connection with the person on my own. Yes, there are some people in my family who are very well connected and who knew big people. That's correct. But my own journey was me connecting with Kasuku, connecting with who, connect like that. So I have just showed you how I arrived there. Yes.
But you know, Capital Gang, when I sat with Joel Wisabide to do the talk and talk show, don't know if you've heard of it. Capital Gang was one of the things that inspired us.
Yes.
Because he was like, you know, we need to have a panel like the Capital Gang. And that's when it came back to my mind, you know. I was like, wow. The way when you listen to the first introductions we used to do when the show had just gone on air, it was more like the Capital Gang.
Okay.
You know?
It set a standard.
We could hear the tea being
and
moved.
the good thing.
You described to us someone's shirt.
Now, I learned it from Patrick. Patrick Kwaku had a show when he was in Ghana as a young man. Then he went to the BBC.
Oh.
So he was very, very experienced at how you start a show, how you do intros, how you create atmosphere for a listener. Because remember, the listener can't see.
Yeah.
So you've got to create an atmosphere for the listener so that the listener can connect with what's happening.
You first make them feel that comfortable.
Exactly.
Then you usher in the discussion.
Yes, because you want the listener to connect with the individuals who are in the conversation.
But you've said Capital Gang has been there since 1996.
Yes.
So it is 30 years now?
Yes.
Wow.
It's been there for a long time.
Because when you left, then Oscar got it?
Yes. Briefly, Pike handled it.
After you left?
Then they got Oscar. Then, if you think about it, it started with, I don't know who is there now, but even Semuju, I'm the one who brought Semuju. Katuntu, I'm the one who brought Katuntu. That's how I also make friends with Norbert Mao, because I brought in Norbert as well.
Yeah. At some point he was there.
Yes, and Ofono. And we made such a close relationship, even forget politics, just being together in a studio, discussing every Saturday was a very, very good experience. So that's how I get into broadcast, radio, and then in the paper, print I was working there formally anyway. Then I started writing a column.
Every Sunday.
It used to be called Kabushenga's Thoughts.
Yes, I remember.
So I wrote that, which was a good experience.
I used to also, New Vision, I read a lot their Sunday paper, and Saturday paper.
It was the biggest paper.
Saturday had Aldrin and Kabuleta.
Aldrin Kabuleta, for those of you of sports.
Yeah, sports. And they also had very good pictures.
Nagenda.
John Nagenda.
Then there was Bukumune with the
Have you had? Yes.
Yeah.
Then Sunday, I used to read.
Old Fox.
There was Old Fox, but then they had a pull out of a musician
Yes.
and the lyrics.
Yes.
So
Oh my goodness.
we could keep those papers.
Oh.
So it's the reason anyway. They want to get Sunday Vision. My dad could get the newspaper so after he finishes, not warm, so we take the rest. And it was,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So now, how do you move from Capital Gang to the media center?
So there was a discussion amongst some of us who were at that time sympathetic to the government, but we had a bit of media experience. And our frustration was that the political people were not being sensitive to the media image. They didn't care, or they didn't seem to care, or didn't think it was important, because they came from a generation that hadn't understood the importance of reputation, the importance of media communication. So they hadn't quite seen the changes that were coming. So we were telling them, some of the things you do and the methods in which you are communicating, they're not the most effective. Okay, there was John Nagenda, but the ministers, they give you a minister of information, he's unavailable, he's unreachable, and the media was changing very fast.
Yeah.
So netugamba naye mwe mutusuubiramu okubayamba bwe wabeerawo controversial issues, naye lwaki gavumenti terina kitongole ekyayo ekirinamu baprofessional ab'amawulire? Even if there is a media person in every department, a public relations officer as they were called, you need mulina mujja kwetaagayo ekitongole nga abakikolamu bakugu mu byamawulire, ate babitegeera, ate bamanyi balina n'emikwano be bayinza okukozesa. And we had seen that two things had happened. There was such a department in Kenya and in Singapore. Now, that was also the time of Chisanja. Ekyasooka term limits. So that, there was Chisanja, there was a reform agenda, and the politics was now becoming...
That is 2001?
Onwards. So when we started debating, we decided, let's find a solution to this problem. So one of us had very quick access to Muzei, natukolera appointment, netugendayo, netumunyonyola how that department would work. We thought it was a good idea. I go, okay, we'll start it. Netuvaayo tumanyi bw'anakitandika ajja kuteekamu omuntu gw'ateekamu. Then one day ono eyali atufulidde appointment n'atuyita gamba naye mujje nti kati kakati obuzibu bwe tulina nti omukulu ali ready, naye ani agenda okukola omulimu guno? Tugenda okwetunulatunulamu nga waliwo omuntu aliwiringa okugenda. Kati olwo nno nina omulimu gwange, ndi company secretary, gunsasula bulungi, ndi sitedde ekitongole ki. Kati tugana naye tujja kuswala. Twagenda ew'omukulu ne tumusinkana, ne tumuwa idea, kati ate ne tumuwadde solution. So I offered myself. Said, okay, since none of you guys is willing to do this, I will do it. The guy, are you sure? Okay. So, n'atuyita. Omukulu twera twamusanga ggulu. Kati awo ng'alina omukyala mu Belgium gwe yali naye agenzeeyo okumuyitiramu how to solve this. Kati n'atugamba, okay, the two of you go and start the center.
Else the Tamaman.
Yes.
Else the Tamaman was at New Vision at some
Until now, that's before. Just before. So
she was part of you guys when the media center started.
Yes, and two soldiers, Kahwa, I think he was called James Kahwa, and Pade Ankunda. That first setup didn't work well. Then we said, okay, let's try again, but this time with media professionals. So I was then given the leeway to do recruitments, which else neyongerayo. That's how we now start the media center. With young volunteers. We were not getting a salary.
What?
I was paid my salary and my arrears 7 months after I had become managing director of Univision. Nganvuddeyo.
Sente zonna ze wakolera.
Yes. Bazisasulawo sibanja. But all the time I was there and we were working, we had no salary. We were just living off a very small allowance. But those kids worked. They worked because that was one of the most difficult media environments. However, kwatira besije ne bamusiba.
Oh, the first time.
Yes.
And you guys had to propagate.
My goodness. People think they have a difficult media environment. Muloze byamu bizibu.
Ebinaku zino si bizibu wakati ebinaku zino birimu by force mungi.
Ate n'ekirala emikutu gye mulina efficiencies gwe ebiseera biri olowooza ng'obusimu bwe tulina bwe busimu bwaffe buli obwakatoki. Email ogenda mu cafe.
Hey, you guys did have the internet at the media center.
Nga tugijjawa. Twagifuna long after. So some of these things, people don't know how difficult it was to set up, to get the work done. Meanwhile, you're going through all of this because you are not yet formally set up under the law, temulina budget. And then you have people who are hostile to you. Internal, not bana bebweru. Nedda abantu bemulina bomunda, you're in the same boat. Naye balaba nti Kasuku agenda kwaka.
Omugati kugenda omusajja atuliddeko omugati.
Ne bakutandikako.
It is the same thing I'm facing these days.
Yes, sorry for you. But that's normal. In fact, for you, you're even okay, you're not a government person. I mean, not a government employee. Never at that point, you're dealing with a minister, bagenda bakola meetings, toliyo, ate ne banenya gwe. So, it was perhaps one of my most difficult assignments. Until about July, kati tumaze campaigns ziwedde buli kimu kati tutandise okukola. That was the time twali tukola ebintu bya konyi, peace talks bikyawo. So finally people started to see the broader value of the media center.
Peace talks chari thara.
Yes.
It was thara.
We did. So we worked really well. Kati that's what established the media center as a truly kati ne baleta systems ne tukola systems kola organization.
Ne mufuna budget.
Kati bagenda okufuna budget nganze kati vayo.
You were at the media center for how long?
1 year.
Oh.
I was there from September 2005. Then in September 2006, I was appointed deputy managing director of New Vision. I had to leave.
You joined New Vision as deputy?
At first.
Not as
MD. I become MD after 3 months because they said, okay, leave Pike to run for 3 months before he leaves. In the meantime, we get over as an understudy. But even in those 3 months, so I was doing 2 jobs.
Media center neno.
Yes. Although for that portion I was never paid, but it's okay. I was doing, the place had to run. So I kept an eye on it for a while, even when I was still at Vision. So then eventually never later Upolot Fred to run it.
The media center?
Yeah.
But Fred Opolot,
he's now an MP, I think, from Soroti. He had been in London. He had been in the NRM office in London. He was their publicity secretary. Yeah,
but okay, maybe because say more public, most people knew a lot about the media center.
Yes.
Okay, most people, when we talk about the media center, it is either you or Fono Pondo.
Because okay, so I'll also tell you this. A lot of this work that we do and the jobs that we do, it's because of the personality. Kati bameka abali mu bibozibozi
banji
naye lwaki gwe yasenyo
must be the personality
kiraba amaanyi g'oteekamu responsibility gy'okozesa n'okuyiiya buli kaseera oba oyiiya mbeerawo nti abantu ne bakconnectinga naawe. So that's what I mean. In fact, between Ofono and me, there were 2 people. But you don't know.
Actually, I've just known that there was Fredo Polot.
Actually, both of them were Polots.
And Dako is
no. Eventually, it became difficult for me to maintain both jobs. Let's never go. Okay, let this guy. He was called Isaac Opolot. Isaac. I let Isaac act for a while. So I left Isaac acting. Then Fred comes later
and takes over.
But you don't know those two.
I don't know. But I've heard of the name Fredo. You know, when you said Fredo Polot, I thought of Omamio Neyafa. Yariko Bani. He used to come to KFM a lot. Yarine Kunai breweries.
Onapito.
Yeah.
Onapito kati Musanga, mu State House when he was the principal. Yali press secretary. Gatamale deputy way. Yes. So that was around our same time. And I'd been with him at Monitor before. And then sometimes he also used to come to the gang like that.
He was an okay guy. I saw him a lot at KFM those days when I was working with Nation Media. So on Saturday, as we moved in for Talk and Talk Show, but Baringa Batandi is already their show. Yes. But he's a guy who would wait around. Sometimes now we did together na sekana babuza ko yawa yo bichi
na agenda.
So you understand. I was surprised he died just like that.
Yeah, you know, cancer doesn't play. He got lung cancer.
Man. He was a neighbor of H.
Exactly, that's where he lived.
Just kukubo what no kamokatini. They had to keep him for like a month. Was it a month?
Barite bana maliriza kuzimba bagenda omutereka.
To dig a grave for like a month.
Yali azimba bagita mu luzungu anti gumanyi oli ojerega munno nti bya luzungu kati luzungu bagita mausoleum. Sintana butana.
Okay.
Kubera ke kizimbe malidadi bichi.
Everything.
Ngate sente zali zize kati yao.
Yeah, he had the money. So now you joined New Vision, and this is where now the biggest story is. Yeah. Mbade jagala tuverie mabega to talk about the journalistic side. Now,
but do you know I'm not even a journalist?
Yep. You're not. You just told us here how you went through. But you know, most people are like that. About our Singapore Bagamanti. Our people think we go like a radio journalist. What makes you journalist?
Yes,
you have the
profession. Yes, and you train.
That make you to do those things. But most of our people on radio and TV, of course, they are not journalists. So, but they are doing a great job.
It's okay.
Some of them.
No issues with anybody.
Exactly. So you join.
So I come back as
so the phone call comes.
Yes.
Was it the president himself who called you?
No, it was. Now we can talk about it because the years have passed. It was Brigadier Nobo Mayombo. At that time, Brigadier Nobo Mayombo was the chairman of New Vision board, but he was also the permanent secretary, Ministry of Defense, and also a very senior cadre whom the president worked through. Yeah. So he calls me. It was a Saturday morning.
Before we move there, how was it dealing with Nobo Mayombo? I was a young boy when the news broke about his death.
It was very painful.
But you know, the news of his death stuck in the news for like 6 months.
He was a very loved person.
He looked so young. I don't know if he was young.
He was about our age, actually. He was about, I think Nobo was probably a year or two older than me. 2 maybe. Yeah, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 at most. Yes. He wasn't that old. He was a lovable character. You know, people who you may find him disagreeable, or you may not agree with what he's saying or doing, but he's likable as a person. Yeah. So Nobo was a very likable individual, and people related to him. First, he had this baby face.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He looked like so young
and very good looking.
So with the things at the time I heard about him.
Katinga gwe nebo kolotya. Gwe bakukangisa abana ku kyalo.
Ako yogedde kachi.
But then inokukubako na. But Nobo was this guy who was likable. So that's why Abantu, although they do not agree with him, they found him personable. Echirala Nobo yali ayamba. ayakuyamba ne bwogendayo nomugamba kiri bubi ng'ate oli saidi eri ng'akusootinga. So that's why people liked him. Kati Nobo ankubira essimu ku Saturday ku makya nambuza oliwa ne mugamba ngenda ku radio nyingira studio nanga let me tell you what I have to tell you because I must tell you before the president announces. Ne mugamba announces what? Ngamba he has appointed you as managing director of New Vision. Ne mugamba gezaako nnyo olabe nti omukulu takyogerako basooke bategeeza oli ali mu kifo nti omulimu gukoze eki gugenze. Ekyokubiri nange ojja kuba ompadde obudde nsooke nange ntegeeze madamu wange toyagala amale gawulira ku radio omuntu ayinza okutuka omutima.
Yeah, but isn't that now back to the president? Because I was going to ask you how the president can just make an appointment ngatakwebuzizako. Because by the time, for example, it's like me waking up one time in the morning and tell me, Kasuku president has appointed you a minister. I'm of the view he should first ask me if I'm ready to take on the role.
Antikati wali enjawulo. Gwe oli muntu wemalirira. Naye ffe abamu omanyi ekigambo abasinga era ene kankyogere. Waliwo ekigambo people they have started abusing it. This thing of being a cadre. Buli omu alowooza nti okay because you're a supporter you're a cadre. But now the difference is that some of us are cadres. So when the commander in chief akugamba nti go and do this, why should he consult you? You're a cadre, you're supposed to be deployed. You take orders. You don't discussing achi.
Kati ate wano otugambye mukyala.
Oli mukyalo wange.
And yes, I'm saying because kati olaba, for example.
Kati oli to discussing.
If no, Auntie Chengamba, if the president had called you to tell you.
You see, if I was a private citizen, working in say Uganda breweries. Or, professor something. There, I know that for other people like in those kinds of capacities, baku preparing. Tikwa kutegeka gundi. Either kutumira omuntu oba yekenyina kukubira na gamba njagala onkolere ku mulimu gwe guti. Are you okay with it? Me, I was Zikada.
NRM.
Olwaleero oli mu mobilization enkya yambala uniform mugenda mu mbaje. So that's how things worked. So there was no need to consult me. I was in the media center. Moving me from the media center to New Vision is not much difference.
Yeah. It's more like...
And in any case, it was a promotion.
Yeah, it was.
In any case, it was. So just told Mayombo, you solve that problem.
So now, the person you're replacing is the owner of the radio station you're working on?
He's also my mentor. He's the one who has trained me.
Wow. So he didn't take it like the guy has gone behind my back.
Of course, there were attempts to present it that way by some people. But you see, our Bazungu about to sing it. Bazungu, they don't take things personal. Of course, he may have been upset, I don't know. But what I know is that we have maintained up to today a very civil and good relationship. It didn't ever... And I continued to respect him even when I was in the office. And then I also did something very important when I arrived. Omanya abantu, me, I disagree with it. Maybe other people were successful. When you are deployed and given an assignment, kati bakusindiso zewano code base. Kati otuse bakulese kudda mu kifo kya Kasuku. Kati bwotuuka ogobye bano bonna baproducer baani kubanga olowooza bakulese kubanga omanyi. Can be very complicated. Kola n'abantu b'osanzeewo. Zimbira ku kiri oli kyaleseewo. And that's what I did. And it worked perfectly well. So it also showed that actually I hadn't go, because also he knew how I didn't go to ask for the job. In fact, that time nga media center etandise okwaka ng'ekintu nga mu maaso ndabayo essaawa yonna nyinza okuvaawo nenfuuka minisita ofoono gatali mu palamenti yagenze
So the way I've seen Ofono, the way Ofono defends AAA, I was like, man, some people tell us about bread these ends, but bread moves everywhere.
Nze nakugambye noonyezaayo omuntu yenna atalina luseke nkulaga omuntu alimba.
Show me anyone who doesn't have luseke.
And I will show you a liar.
Ku exo kuliko abavubuka oyinza okuba tobamanyi. Kuliko omuvubuka omu bamuyita Kirya UG.
Kirya mumanyi.
Bageze yagenda ne batabukira guy bamuyita ba ayita Joel.
Ono engineer.
Ne boogera ebigambo ekyo saga temwemenya. Bujembala ebintu byenkola.
Yes.
The next tweet we saw, like the man is like a father, a mentor. But Chile was one of the people who put me on the spot. Ukinote wa president, muni mukulia sente. I was like, now he's understanding.
Yes.
But of course they will raise the issue. Well, you see president, he's sente zodi. Okay, luseke is luseke.
Kati bw'oba tolulina olyaki. Tulekeraawo okuteekamu ebituluma simanyi oba bujja. You know, just do what you are doing, you as a person. If someone has got his blessing, tabye wabba kale watobye oli yakuwa misana ffenna twali ku mikutu bakuwa tuwulira tulaba misana
sikukuse
wagenda watubuulira n'okutubuulira ne bana enzirayo ne bakuwa ebibyo kati awo okoze ensobi ki
abaana baali bakambwe
nedda buli omu yeekubira mulanga gwe nze era boogera ebyo boogera naye nze ndabyeko byendabye mu life era ewaffe bagamba nti aho kushanga omukama nomulamuliza n'okushabira ente y'okuza kushwera kitegeeza osanga omukulu omusaba kyoyagala oba ogenda kuwasa n'omusaba ente n'omuwala gwendabye bampe nti ngenda kuwasa. That is the way we do things. Kati gwe okay fine wagendayo kati wali ogenda kusaba appointment oddeyo ate nti osabe quietly. Kati nsobi ki gye wakola
abo baveeko kasita naye yagenze n'aluwulirako oluseke
anti kati oli wano bwe wali otandika kino wano mu studio wondeese baaliwo
tebaaliwo baaliwa
bw'oba tobbye tosse muntu kutwala bintu bya muntu kiki.
The rest is I know. So you begin life at New Vision,
which was very interesting.
How did you find New Vision?
It was tough. It was tough because in the first days I had to get people to accept me back. Many of them were senior to me in experience and age. So also I had been there before and there was a way in which people had felt that I was a bit serious. Ebiseera ebyo nga ecupa
ogitambuza
ndi wakabi nga n'empaka bwe zibeerawo
ojja
podium.
Speaking about chupa eyo kawunyemu yakwatako
nedda balimba.
There's a story that could move
I
around.
know that story.
It is not true.
It's not true. Because by that time, when they tell that story, first of all, by the time Kawunyemu comes, I had stopped drinking. Era bagamba nti nze nababo, in fact nawe kankubuza ekintu yes, the story moved. Nze mbasaba ekintu ekikyoka. Tell me only one police station where I spent a night. One. I don't want two, I don't want three. Only one. Where? Tugendeyo kuba police etereka records okuvira ddala before independence. CRB simanyi CRV namba gye bakusibirako tugende baginoonya bagindage eyange erimu amannya gange because they can't look you up without a number.
Probably that story, when I heard it, I was like, but is it possible? Like, the guy was the MD of New Vision.
There is
How
not
can someone say they
there
don't
is
know?
not a single day in all the 15 years when I was managing director of New Vision, there's not a single day that alcohol ever passed through my lips.
You had quit
28th of October 2005.
to date.
Nothing. 20 years.
Mpadde hope.
Ojja kuvaayo.
Mpadde hope. You know.
By the way, let me also tell you this, that because of that development, eyokuva ku mwenge, it is one of the things that made my career grow.
Oh, really?
Yes, kuba kati bwe nva ku mwenge ne nva mu bbaala kati nga ndi ku mulimu. Saawa ebi
Bina.
lwe bakkubira essimu gw'oliko tojjaako ssimu. So I ended up doing a lot of work. And because you are sober 24 hours, you are thinking.
You don't have time for this.
No. My active social life ended at that point. Nze nga bwe nabeeranga mu vision. Kola okuva saawa nga mu office ntuuka mu saawa mu kitundu at latest or earliest 6:45. Nga nvaamu 10. Ne nkima abaana bange ne ngenda eka ne tuli ekyeggulo. I continue working at home until 11 p.m. then I would sleep.
So I know so many people who are dealing with the president, formally and informally. But most of them stopped drinking, they stopped partying. Is that the cost of dealing with him?
Tutwalayo mwenge.
So like if I have to deal with the president at one time,
Kati nakuwa omulimu ewuwe.
bere yasidda mujibikola.
Biveeko. Era sigala wano.
Tugira tobeera wano kubanga. Toyiwayo wadde.
Bw'obanga oyagala omulimu guli okugukola eri ewuwe nga bwakusuubira okugukola n'oyitawo. Ecupa giveeko. Nogireka. Naye nze kyanyamba nnyo kuba kyansobozesa n'okola emirimu gyo tolinaako buzibu ate tebakutambuzaako ŋŋambo twamulabye n'ebyana mu gundi eri gye wagamba gye wagenda
Ewa.
waliwo yogera nga tunagenda ku interview ng'oli ku cupa yo ng'ebyana bikubuuza bagenzi ba president bbaala ki
Ugondi ku classroom. Ngasudie.
I can't. And that helped me to do many things. Because you take responsibility kati ya otandika okukola ebintu. Oyo omukulu gw'oyogeddeko amama nga mugenda ne mukola ne mutula mu meeting negwa ku 8
Ogw'ekiro.
kati bali ababadde meeting enene ne abasiibula ne bagenda kati mwati ne musigala one extra hour to summarize kale kati enkya tukoze tutandika saawa meka tutandika saawa 4 olwo eno ovuddeyo 9 ovuga ogenda ka webake ng'omanyi nze alkama anenkyalinayo giri emirala egya vision nagyo girina okukolebwa kati waawo bw'oteekamu ebbaala
Kiba kiganye. Abali mu opposition abaagala okukwata mu kintu. Ebintu mubiwulira. Otuuka n'obyerabira.
You see, leadership is a serious responsibility. I don't know if people realize it, but it's a very serious responsibility. Trying to run this country requires a certain level of seriousness. It's not a part-time job. Parliament, you get there, you have to do meetings, you have to deal with all sorts of people.
Like what I'm picking is there are people we just even don't know that actually run things. Minus Banova MP bani.
Kati gwe DJ wayiso omumanyi wafaanana oli omulabyeko ekifaananyi kye. Naye akubega saawa 4.
Abamanyi abeera ayagala okumanya
akumanyi wooli. Nakati ate kubanga yafunye the report nti ndi wano naawe tunyumya.
The guys are that thorough.
But do you know what he looks like? No. Have you ever seen his photo? No.
So like you can be juzi when again I'm State House. the first time nina guy tubadde tutuula naye eyo
muli mu bibuuzi
tuli mu bibuuzi
muwogerayogera ate mwe
namusanga mu uniform
ng'akubyeko
munda eri ngamba Kasuku you'll go here naye
nga tayogera nawe ng'akumanyi okuva eri anyway nzizeeyo mu vision kati ekirowoozo kinkutte how do I succeed
here because it's big. At the time you went, I don't know how big Bukede was, but
there was just newspapers.
For some time, the newspaper New Vision.
No, but it
was the flag.
But it was already a very big operation. It had newspapers, it had internet, it had a printing business. It was already big. And the question was, I know they debated it for about a week in the press. Will he manage? He's just a cadre. Will he manage?
Nenga akaliro kawulira nawe.
Because it was my one opportunity. Omanyi wolaba kati nga gwe wagenda noga ne bakuwa akazi noga kati this is it. There's no other opportunity. Yiino Katonda yagimpadde. If I mess it up, it will take a long time before I get a second chance.
Yeah.
Now, Manyi Robert, sit down, develop a plan, and follow it through. And make sure you succeed. Then I started. Now, ngamnebuuza, what can I do that's different that William had not done that will be my own mark and give me my own momentum? So I identified 2-3 things. One, machine je twali tulina printing pressing ekadi. And I calculated it would be another 5 years ngeweddemu. So I said, my first task is to buy a new printing press. Olono njogera, oluza sente wezivan manyina yo. But we found the money. But we had a vision at that time to become the leading multimedia organization in East Africa. So I asked my guys, what does multimedia mean? It means having a presence in all platforms. Okay, so we're going to go into radio, we're going to go into TV, going to expand into the internet. To gain a mass. So that's how, interestingly, at that point, Bill is let go from Capital. Kati musanga musilk tunyumya na manyi digenda kuvaayo no ogenda kola ki ngamba chai nimuga jangu eno tutandike radio aga you serious ngenda mu board ne gamba I want to hire this boy olobiro ali ku senior 6 Bill najja bandi awo nempulira rumor ti Susan Sibirwa mugundi mu yaya akoliseri yaya akola DFCU the DFCU they're not renewing her contract nenkwate simu dem mukubira ka Susan is this true? Yes. Mubuza can you come? Yes. Wenene ngenda mubone ngamu bono
we need her
badly. And that's how we built this team. People. Then there was Mark Walungama, yali mu UBC, na yali abamuvuya ne muga jangu eno. Mark siwe tutandika Bukede TV, Bill tutandika zi radio. Susan, we get this aggressive marketing approach. And then of course there were other people who were there who were doing nalino lyo mulalo wange kulubya mu Bukede. So you get the people who can do things which they are professionally trained to do. And that's how we built that brand. Yes, and doing things which were cutty. You do that, so you also need to understand you have to do that for the benefit of the public. But there is also an owner, omugaga wali, kati yo mugaga, chimukolera chitya, na yoli no kumuyiyizayo.
Yeah.
So, omugaga ni tumuyiyizayo. Engeri kijafunamu mu kintu kino nga naffe bwe tukitambuzanga business. And we had a good balancing act. 15 years.
15 years.
It began with a small step, a loan to build a future, and savings for a rainy day. From a microfinance to a full-service bank, we've grown to serve you better.
empowering communities, supporting businesses, and safeguarding your future. Pride Bank. Your growth is our pride.
I think for me, the biggest thing you did at New Vision was Bukede TV.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Bukede TV came at a time.
But some other people may not agree with you. Some people think the biggest thing was Omulimia Singer.
Omulimia Singer, but of course, but I think that is all under Bukede.
Yeah, no, the event in Nambole. But it's okay. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No, it's fine. I'm just saying, but for you, the media guys.
Because at the time, I think we had NTV, WBS, it's beginning to lose steam.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and we didn't have, because ideally WBS was the local stuff we had.
Yes.
But now, British TV, you know, it so does not.
The thing, so there were very interesting things that happened. So, a number of things were going on. So that is also the time Ugandan music is taking over.
Yeah.
Fully now. We have our own artists. They are big in their own right. CBS had been very successful as a Luganda radio. So, but for some reason, everyone thought TV has to be in English. Then I went to Ghana. Now, Ghana, there was a woman who had started a local TV, but a slightly more down market than WBS, and she was doing well. Then I went to South Africa for something else, and I found something called Soweto TV. It was being run by the son of one of Mandela's prison mates called Walter Sisulu. This guy who had been a journalist is called Zwelakhe Sisulu. But it was also local. They were playing Zulu church music. It was very local. Then, actually, when I was coming back from Ghana, I passed through Nairobi. I went to see someone with whom we have continued to be such good friends, a guy called Washira Waruru. Washira Waruru, I don't know now, but then he was the boss of Citizen TV. Washira Waruru is the one who told me something very interesting. He said, Robert, we don't have social classes in Uganda, in East Africa, like these developed countries. What do you mean? In our African societies, Kasuku atula ne MD owa banka ne driver ne bali nyamenjo che nga balaba TV.
Ne bateesa ko biri ku TV.
Ng'abasoma.
Ono dereva, ono bank manager.
Ono Kasuku ayegera kule. Bonna batuddawo. Ate bonna bambadde emijozi. So nangamba nti, therefore, if you can find a content solution that can address all those people in one go, you'll have a winning formula. Kati, nkomao. Kati, akatale ka Parkside, ojjukira kakwata omuliro. Kati wekakwata omuliro. Netugendayo kubaddukirira. Kati mba ndi awo ne bagamba nti that market at that time, the total turnover of that market was 1.5 billion shillings in cash per day.
Per day.
Akawumbi kamu n'ekitundu buli lunaku mu cash. Si mabanja nedda.
Cash.
B.
Not M. B.
B. Ekyo kyekyaguzaawo Standard Chartered branch Emmange Nakivubo. Era abo baguni boneyo gye bagulirawo accounts bayanga baani boneyo. So, but I asked myself one question. Nga tuba meetinga nenebuuza nengamba bannange bana abantu ani aba entertaining bano mu ngeri gye bategeera. Kuba bali ba luzungu, bano ba luzungu. Nenzirayo nempita abantu bange. Nebagamba mmanyi nti yali Kulubya, yali editor wa Bukedde. Hajati. I can't remember who the third person was, but there were 3. Invited them. But tutandika TV oluganda ekola. All of them they answered the same thing. Kijja kukola. Ngolobuke dayase.
Ono papula.
Ngamboke. Nempita guy woluzungu wa mauli nemgatera ku headline mu luzungu. Vision to start book the TV. Bas. Kati if you know how much money we used to start that TV oyinza okuseka. Nzijukira n'okuzijukira.
Was how much?
$185,000.
That's really little money.
Thank you very much. Twagula computer zaali 3 ne tugula playout system. Kati nemba gamba kitugenda okukola. Ngenda mugundi mu silki. Family madam gaba ne tugende ku musiga tugende. Kati tutuukayo. Bali bakatandikawo oba yali silk simanyi bikinge fa aboluzungu gye tutula.
Silk Ocean.
Yo wagulu. Kati mbandi awo ndaba TV music gwempulira ate yali ku TV. Ngate nasemba okubeerayo. Ngeno bakuba music naye ku TV kubeera ko ba mupiira. Ne kati ndaba videos aba musician. Nembuza kavuma. Icho chichecho. Nga gundi mpya bagita video mixing. Nga ani oyo agikola oyo. Nga mane tulina omuvubuka wano bamuyita Shiru. Wakabi.
DJ Shiru.
Kumande emagambo nonye Shiru. Ajja kola music show. Kwa mwana yali angambye nti bwoba oyagala kupikinga audience. Onokutekawo music show kuva ku ssaawa 11 netambula n'abantu ogenda nabo paka kiro. Kati tuguze ebyuma playout biki kati content anava. Tufite tulina kamera tulina kiki. Naye kyasinga okunsanyusa nga tuleeta abantu olwo tulina equipment nga yeri awo kutukumeza. Tuleeta Bishop n'agisabira. Ne tuleeta imamu n'asaba.
Ngabira gwa abantu eri.
Ati kati wano tubikuba mu mawulire TV egenda kutandika tuleesa abantu bajje balabe tugenda. It became like a movement.
People are eagerly waiting.
Now the best thing, the things that helped us to take off. Shiru, VJ Jingo, ne Junior. Tugenda mu bibanda, tujjayo enjogerere.
Muzireta.
Tuziteeka ku TV.
Shiru aze ne gundi ne reggaeton. Mixinga.
Nyimba z'aba Uganda zokka.
Mujukira. Serebe nga Shiru nange.
Kati tukolayo ekirala. Ku Lwomukaaga ku makya. Saluni. Omu butale. Ebyokufumba. Emmere yaffe.
Yawan.
Waliwo omwala baali bamuyita Bridget Namitala.
Namitala. Ali Amerika kati.
Bagenda. Abaana bagenda ne tusangayo gundi ono Seguya Josephati genda ku TV.
President w'olugambo.
Tuleeseeyo ono erinnya lirimbuze ono omuvubuka wange omusiraamu yalingawo ku makya morning show mumanyi muddugavu erinnya ndyerabidde nja kulijjukira twaleeta newabeerawo soda w'abakyala
oyo ye yaleeta zino show za mid lunch.
Waliwo breakfast newabeerawo ne lunch.
Soda abakyala yatukubira kubukedde awo bannange. Yali tasaaga.
Ate nga baana nga tewali nti yasoma ki alina qualification nedda bikasaba olina ekitone jangu.
Nze soda abakyala kyemujjukirako gwe nasooka okulanga avuga benzi y'abaavu. Progress. Yaleeta progress. Nga progress agikumamu baati. Steering ne kamu nedda. Sajja nga bakambwe.
Kati nze mbaleetera kapere.
Kapere ono?
Kapere yalanga ekivulu kyaffe. Nga kapere alina show ku TV. Temumulabiraawo omusajja wattu.
sawe nanoonya zimala nnyumba sikyambuzi
naye nze namuleeta yajjera bajjanga mu ofisi ngekaperere genda okole
naye nze njagala kumanya ani yaleeta Pango Kasayo Hajati give me a handshake
kati Hajati
oyo yakwata omuzigo
kati Hajati tunoonya show naye nga eziri ku NTV ne TV endala nga za 7 pa episode
$700
ng'olina zifunira mu sponsor Hajati n'agenda Philippines n'anyoya $10 ina yali wa $10 pa episode she went on the internet oba yafuna muntu ki ne bazireeta era twazidownloadinga nga kiro ng'abantu balimu mu office ne tudownloadinga ng'osasula episode oba bimeka n'okuba ne baleeta ne baziwa Video Junior genda okole ki
ozogereremu basi naye baba
kati Maka najja Walungama naye n'aleeta agataliiko nfuufu ezo gundi omuntu w'abantu tebadde mwerabidde omuntu w'abantu because I think that time omuntu w'abantu had 2 hours yes
omuntu w'abantu ina Pango Kasayo n'agataliiko nfuufu omanyi nti agataliiko nfuufu abantu baali babasasuza $5
okulaba
ekibanda
olimba n'abanoonya
bane walogaye yasooka okukola abanoonya naye banga naye yagenda America
abaana bagenda nze ndi musanyufu kubanga abo abantu bonna na kino kye mulimu kwegamba olulimi abantu okukola content mu lulimi Oluganda kiva kwaba abaana
I think
twalaga nti you can do it with dignity netumala era n'ebirango kati bano abantu abakolanga ebirango omanyi natuka ekiseera nga sikyalina wenteeka birango ku Bukedde TV
nga wajjudde
nga sirina kyakukola nenyongeza rates
nga abantu basigala
n'asasula advance.
I think for me, in my view, most people ekintu kya Bukedde TV tebakyagala. Actually, Mama Bula was a very conservative person. Muzeyi waffe. Ebyo film ezenjogerera ezo, you know. Naye for her, what caught her was agataliiko nfuufu. It gripped her in such a way that she let us even watch bili ebisigadde. Okitegeera.
Kati kankusese. Tuba tutandise ebyo tukole ebyo. Wabiriwo omukolo ne tugenda kati ntula ku mmeeza nga kuliko abakulu ba TV abalala balinga bana bajereganze ne bansekerera naye tukumanye naye ku luno ogudde eddalu TV Oluganda ne baseka. November 2009 I'll never forget that event. Twalina mu Serena wali twagenda okutuuka mu Gwokuna 2010 nga boogera nga kyemba kola mu katale nze nkimanyi ngenda okulaba nabo batandise ataddewo kano ono ataddewo kano akoolugana mugaya mujja kukkiriza
kujja mwerimba. I think you changed the face of broadcasting at that time.
Chovolaba, one of the things that made me say kangende nyumyemu Emboozi ne Kasuku is to give you encouragement. Because maybe you don't need it, but to show you as long as you believe in something, go ahead.
The rest will fall in place.
Baliba veko. You do what you have to do because you are the one who can do it at that time.
The way you're doing it.
Thank you. Nonkole ebibyo, you build it, nozimbira okwo omukisa gujja lumu. Ate guba gugenze. So, kino kye muliko me I can see. This is the future of media. Ate wawe najimanyira. Miss if you can guess. We namanyira nti ekiseera kye kino. Ojjukira lwe muyiwa abantu mu Chinatown. Abantu abo bagenda mu Chinatown because of TikTokers.
Yeah.
TikTokers are the ones who caused the problem at Chinatown.
Yeah. There is actually a guy on Narawano, Crown Japan Katwe.
Hey.
He was doing November sales. What do you? Is it Halloween?
Hey.
It's
Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Hey.
He onboarded TikTokers and YouTubers. Echifonga by 5 lines zisimbi. Gaya ogeno kukera kuma chat 7 ngata day at 5. But night mukera nyo ogenda kugulawo nenga they got to a point where they were forced to open at 7. I mean at 5. Abantu baje batwala ebintu. Recently nali naye ku birthday yangawo. Nangamba that last year yiino tika over 10 containers. Ninga usually a year he would do like 2.
Kale. So n'olwekyo ekintu kye muliko, first of all, kati you need to look at how other people are doing it.
Yeah.
Learn. Don't fear to imitate. It's okay. Build. This is the media of the future.
I know.
So you are doing well. Togo amusubi.
Thank you. Now, I think Bukede Radio yaruawo peaking.
Yo yaruawo ku
I think you're picking a new one or Mukabaka Riot Sao. Ngaba closing the CBS.
Yes. Na yena aba CBS after that we bakomawo. Bali banafu. Obuzibu bwe twafuna bwatulemesa Bukede TV I mean radio was because twagulawo mu kiseera ky'ebyettaka. Waliwo nyawo ekiseera awo nga emboozi eriwo ya byattaka. So abantu ne batukyawa kuba baali balowooza nti tukutambulira nnyo ku government.
Yeah.
So ne tustrugglingamu awo mpolampola then awo ne baggalawo CBS ate abantu abamu ne batunyigira ne
bongera okubakyawa.
Naye Bukede Radio epikinga later on, much later, lw'abantu abo babiri. Kazibwe
Bashir.
Ne Sunaben.
Sunaben was there during your time?
Yes. Nanu recruited Sunaben.
Oh.
Abo be bajijjayo. Aba babiri. Nga it was too big at that point. Yeah. Naye radio ezasinga okwaka. Radio eteso etop. Yo day 1, day 2 it became number 1. Tewaliwo kulinda. Gundi Radio West twagigula.
Yeah.
Nayo ne tujit. Then waliwo radio Arua gye twagula. Arua 1 yali ya Gundi yali ya Muhammadi. Naye nga nafumu. Twalwana ne radio abakatolika tujja na radio nga amaanyi. Pasisi simanyi pachisi. Ai. Ibali bazibu. Ne Gundi ne Mega FM egulu. Took us a long time to fight with them.
But eventually they picked.
Yeah, they picked. And I think they're still doing well.
What happened? You didn't hire Ndaus?
No. I believed in allowing the head of a section to do what was the right thing. This is a profession. So, Bill, I want this person. Take. Baganti, I don't want this person. You don't. Doesn't matter. Mark yali akulira TV nga cha kugamba chokola because he understood TV. And that's how I operated. Zenga sigenda kunoonya muntu bweru ne muleta ne ngamba nti ono naye akole no. That's not how it worked. Yes, kuba kati nga ono producer waffe yeye ategeera sound. Kati gwe toyinza kugenda eri n'oleeta omuntu nti akole sound. Tomanyi anything about sound engineering. So let the right person, professional, do his work.
There's a conversation I'll give you about that. But I think we shall have it. But we shall have it. The way you've answered that question, let me leave it at that. Because I think another thing you did when you came into the market, where you looked at the space Red Pepper had. Nemuleta Kampala Sun. I remember one time I talked to you on the phone when you were actually beginning that newspaper. Wankobirako, netu meeting ako, I think with Claude. There's a guy called Claude.
Yes.
Meeting and Medad.
Even
time
has passed
us from red pepper
Hey.
to yiino. But we met like 4 people you talked to. Noza afene tutyamu. Tugamba why?
Baali b'amaanyi. But we fought.
Because Kampala Sun naye yatuyugumya wano.
Yes.
And actually mnamanvaawo. Ne tutuula omusajja nga Kampala Sun lwafulumye abayita n'amukuba ku mmeeza pam. Kati the challenge those days. Why don't we have this story? Where are they running it? You know?
Gundi waliwo omuvubuka simanyi ndowooza akyali bamuyita Alex bali mwikungu. Awo yali w'amaanyi mu kuleeta stories. But the brilliant fellow was a young man, I forget his name. He also went to America. Yali editor.
Who, Nasa?
He was a boy from the north. I forget his name. Amanyi kati miaka jinsi mingi. But that boy was brilliant and he was in his 20s. He was brilliant.
You also watched him?
No, he was working. He was a sub-editor, but he had a mind for content and for language. And he was young, and he was adventurous. He would play around with design. He would play around, but we also understood one thing. We understood to get into that space, what you needed was good quality printing. Kati nze bwe nkuba ekifaananyi nga tubadde ku show y'emu ekyange kijja kulabika bulungi okusinga ekikyo.
But how many photographers did you have?
Many.
There was one time,
we actually had a photo desk.
Nakubako ebifaananyi nga ntandika nagendako ko mu field nga ndaba Ndijo, ndaba Seguya, ndaba like 4 people from Vision Group, 5.
Yes.
As I'm looking at these guys, I'm like,
kati buli omu baba bamuwadde instructions ze editor waaba mugambye nze ekifaananyi njagala kya ngeri bweti. So but then they would all bring photos and we're looking at them, people are looking at them, these are for internet, these are for this, these are for that, these are for that, and we'd have all these photos.
And I think you guys pioneered the digital thing.
Yes.
The newspapers moving digital.
Yes, we did.
Pioneered it, especially with Kampala Sun.
Yes.
I think your stories are Muzani now. Eventually, the more moving into Kampala Sun being digital.
Yeah, because paper was also very expensive. And when that boy left, the paper struggled a bit. But also, I can talk about this now. Like any organization, you have people of different opinions. Now, New Vision editorial had the conservative wing was very strong. There were quite a few locally there who from a purely, I don't know what is the word ideological, from a purely, whatever, they didn't like Kampala Sun. They didn't think that Kampala Sun should be
part of the products.
Yeah, because it's out of the character.
Yeah.
And even some members of the board, of course, there were people who suffered adverse publicity in there. They would also influence the thinking. They even went up to high offices. Robert has spoiled New Vision. They are now just gossiping. Oh, I said, what? This paper is coming out every day. Where's the gossip in New Vision? Oh, Kampala Sun. Why are you reading Kampala Sun? It's not your newspaper. Why are you publishing it if it's not ours? Kampala Sun is for your child, not you.
And this is what your child wants.
Yes. What do you want me to do? But some arguments you push, some you leave.
Yeah.
Abantu b'amaanyi toyagala ayinza okulemesa somewhere else, so you keep quiet.
Then I think the other product that really didn't pull out for you guys was Urban.
Yes.
We
really struggled.
What exactly happened with Urban?
No, we had a problem generally with the English language broadcast. We didn't get it right. We didn't think it through properly. We underestimated the commitment of the audience to their English. You know, people were really committed to Capital and Sanyu. People were really committed to NTV and at that time WBS. We thought as WBS was declining, we would pick up that audience. But then there was also another problem because then Bukede TV became very strong. Yeah. So now there was no point and I tried very much to persuade my friends at MultiChoice then to allow Urban to be on their
platform.
Yeah, but they did this, did that. Then they allowed NBS to come on before us. Now, of course, that caused a problem for us. But also NBS, I think Kalisa, to his credit, understood the model that he wanted. He wanted to build his channel on the basis of American TV, which is vibrant, superstars.
Yeah.
For us, we were having a fight. The people in the English language newspaper wanted the TV in a certain way. The TV people didn't. So there was a bit of pushing and pulling. Yeah.
And it eventually reflected on the TV.
Absolutely.
Because you would see the TV and you're like, which direction are these guys?
We had actually, the truth is we had no direction. That's the fact of the matter. We didn't.
So from all those products, the gist of this interview was one, as we discussed before we came on air, how were you able to connect with, because you had new faces that came through, especially with Bokede TV, Fifida Queen, Flaviana Molindwa, Soda Wabachala,
Jesus Christ.
you know, Jamila Nampira, you know, all of those people.
Yes.
And I've not, for most of those I've talked about, I've not met someone, you know, even up to today, they'll tell you we've not had a boss in our lives like Robert. And they are not people who can say they spent every day with you. Kabushenga is coming from Capital Radio, the media center, Aze, Kati afuse loko. How were you able to, you know, do that and relate with these people to make them feel so comfortable, deliver for you, but even up to today they are saying Kabushenga, for us Kabushenga.
You see, one of the Katiulaba Ngagwe, you have your gift of being able to hold a conversation. Not very many people can have a conversation. So I think one of the things I have learned in my life, I've been gifted, is how to relate to people. Let me give you an example now of our interaction. When, for many people, that video and what you said about me, most people, the person would have been annoyed and asked you, what do most people, that's the what do you call it, the instinct or the reflex. But for me, I said, no, this is very interesting because somebody had sent to me the one of Kazora. I had seen it, but I didn't comment. Some things I don't. I said, let me disturb this man. If I will see. If he replies in a certain way, then I know he wanted to insult me. But if he responds in another way, then I know he was just
Vibing.
Hey. And exactly that's what happened. Now, for me now, my instinct said, no, I want to know this person better.
Yeah.
So then when you said the interview, I said, yes.
Let's have it.
Let's have it. Because why are you also on earth? If you didn't bring yourself, you don't live, so Amarala Gachi. I know. So I have always been able to manage to get along with people. And I don't expect a person, for me to get along with you, Kasuku, I could have told you Jangwe Wangi. No, if I want to get along with you, if I want you to do something for me, I must find you where you are. My status doesn't matter. For me to come here to Code Base and we have this conversation doesn't reduce Kabushenga. No, it doesn't. So can I come here? If it is easier that way, we do it that way.
Yeah.
So the people that I worked with had a talent. I needed them to make my innovations work. So, singa netekamu nga sinza kutukibwako. Kati, how will you know? Waliwo mugago mu Kampala yangamba nti omanyi ne mu lyato tebateekamu ddagala lyaki lyakutta mmese nga lwaki kubanga emmese ze zikulaga nti eryato ligenda kukola ki
kubbira
kubanga amazzi gaba kati mesi zitandika okujja waggulu wemuziraba waggulu mumanya iwe wansi waliyo
obuzibu buzze
let's go and sort out that problem otherwise the mesi zibeera eri wansi gye wali emmere bucaafu kibeera eri so being able to connect with people at different levels tells you so ng'abantu bajja ne bosi kino bwe tukola bwe tuti mwakiwuliddewa abamanyi abantu balukikire tukikole but if you wait nti bano beba bagenda itirewa head of department wanaakikutuusaako nga bagenda da.
So you understood how to deal with creatives because abantu abasinga, and I've seen it at so many workplaces. Maybe I think another person who is trying to replicate that is keen, and you
he understands it very well
on his TVs and his platforms. You see how things move fast,
very fast.
Agezako nnyo okulaba nti what is the idea? This is the idea. Do you think this can work? Okay, just take us through here. I think it is okay. Work with him. Let us execute that.
And he makes a decision.
And he makes a decision.
Kati twali tumulinako obuzibu. Nti ye wakolera decision ne bagenda ne bagula bye balina okugula batandike. Fe twali tulina okuwandika proposal ogenda mu board simanyi procurement rules because nga ye yagula dda.
Ng'asimbudde agenze
n'omwana omusaala gwayagala agumuwa ng'olina okugenda ewa ekyala simanyi wandiika biki
justify
but omwana alina ebipapula nedda naye bw'ana agenda ku TV anaakola egenda
now
so the thing is do you understand abantu b'okola nabo n'omanya kati there used to be a joke I used to tell in the office ngamba nti I would tell depending on bwemanya department omuntu gyalimu would be and their generation would be how they would address me. Omuntu bwambuza how are you sir? Nemanyi oyo wa mu New Vision ate aluddewo. How are you Mr. Kabushenga? Omanya ali wano. How are you Robert? Nemanya oyo wawali. Then hi Robert. Hi Bob. Oyo omanya millennium. Naye wakukwata mu ngeri ye tomukwata nga
bokwata bali eyo wayitoyagala byakuyita bosi
mulwaki nze nekwevuga motoka nvuga yange I never once had a
driver
or a bodyguard.
We had an MD at Monitor, was called Tony. But he was also
he had been with us, yes.
I think he's one of the best bosses I've worked with. He was a guy who you're passing around. I think one of the things he did that really challenged me, I think the wife used to watch like our shows a lot. So one day I was moving up the stairs, he calls me, tells me, how are you? You're doing a good job. I'm telling him, yes sir. He's like, no, just call me Tony. I was like, wow. So he tells me, you're doing a good job. My wife is always watching your stuff. You want to have a drink?
Tolaba. Kati awo yakumala.
The next time the next thing Anyinyo, he told me it's called what? There's a whiskey we are talking about. And he's telling me, but tujiyita si bwe bagiyita. Nenge chupa zebikula. So now the commitment I had to make sure that whatever we are doing works, because I felt now this guy understands what I'm doing and he's not about the procedures, the titles. He just wants to make sure this happens.
Waliwo omuntu ateeka mu parking y'omupiira. Yalina Afcon oba yaliwa sikyajjukira. First of all, waliwo utwali mu Afcon. Baga buli omu ayambala etisaati ya gundi.
Cranes.
Ne tuzibagulira. Kati we used to watch the games in the car park ekiro. Waliwo screen nene fena tugenda tutuula. Uganda neeteeba. Omuntu gwogwa mu kifuba omumanyi nga mwenna mukubakerere. He's a printer oba a sweeper. Naye
asanyuse.
Omwekanga ono bosi.
Yeah, and it makes people feel like
they know you are human.
Yeah, they feel. So now someone never abeera nga ali wansi eri etika mawulire. Asobola okujja okwogera naawe naga nti ngala manager we tajja kitegeera naye naga nti nafiiriddwa. Nyamba buyambi.
Waliwo n'ekirala kye nakola nabagamba because we had a very young workforce. Mbagamba nti you know what? Bw'oba n'ekizibu ekikwatagana ku mwana wo don't ask for permission. Just go. Make sure you leave some arrangements. You can tell a colleague akuyambeko oba yangu oveyo okomewo and you make up for the time. Hey, are you sure? I said yes, it's okay. The day we announced it, the number of relatives who are dying in New Vision went down by 75%. Yeah, because now people don't need to tell you a lie that they're going for burial. Because what actually they were going for has to do with their children.
They just work it out together there, sitting for me,
If
or let me do overtime so that
people
tomorrow I can do
people
this.
don't set out to cheat you. Wow. They just have problems. So if you understand that and allow them to solve their problems, it's okay.
Now, as we move towards the end, we are already 1 hour 35 minutes. But it's worth it. Yeah. It's worth it because we've not had something like this before.
Is ordering your stock from China, Turkey and Dubai stressing you so much? Is it taking you months and months for you to get your stock? Just 1, 2, 3 and tread like a boss you are. 1. Talk to Iran Global Logistics on 0740 152 331. 2. Let us know whether it's sourcing or sending money to a supplier that you would want. 3. Enjoy our unmatched customer service. Trade like a boss with Ryan Global Logistics. Find us at Nabugabo Street, BBC Building, room N412. Call us on +256 740 152 331 or +86 180 723 935 15 or +86 132 502 15685 or visit our website on www.rangloballogistics.biz. Rand Global Air Express Cargo. We move anything, anywhere.
You got a lot of backlash. One for defending. Okay, call it defending your workers. For example, at one point we had Tina Fierce, Scoop on Scoop. We had Mary Ruswata. I think Gashumba's problem with you started there. I think he reached out to, I don't know if that was it, but I remember, if I'm not mistaken, he reached out to you and maybe you didn't seem so positive about whatever he was telling you at the time. So he took it to Facebook. There's a time he really bashed you on Facebook. And at some point I felt like, wow. You understand? Have you ever seen a bashing, and you yourself feel like, I know we are hard, but man, this guy is hard, you know? And the challenge came from you having to protect your employees. Yes. Because the complaints would come, even musicians themselves. Yes. Could say, and we are like, tomorrow this one is not coming. Now, the next day this one is coming, and somehow Mama say, how were you able to strike this balance from to protect your worker? Because today not so many people are doing it. The moment a popular, famous person or influential person
you must never do that. You must never ever do that. If you're a leader, you cannot throw your subordinate under the bus. You deal with the person privately. Because I would have my conversations with Tina Fierce, I would have my conversations with Mary Ruswata, or any other person who had caused the problem. But I cannot go to the public and throw that person under the bus. It's not correct. Why? Because that person works for me. Nze ye mukulembeze ate nze nina obuvunanyizibwa ku kitongole. Kati bwe wabaawo omuntu gw'onenya nenyanze. So it was okay for Gashumba to bash me because he was frustrated about what my people were doing to him using the resources of the company. And I never responded because he was attacking the right person. but for the wrong reasons. But he was attacking the right person. Why was I being paid a very good salary to take those kinds of things?
Absorb.
It's now my job to deal with those things. So I can decide to quarrel with Gashumba, or I can let Gashumba have his say. And then afterwards, time passes. Time heals everything. So I would not, and also some people use it as a pressure point, that if they attack me, or if they would attack me, then I would put pressure on the employee to stop doing what he is doing. But you see, this is one incident. The employee works 365 days a year. The employee has other benefits. By the way, that employee is also a human being with dependents and so on. So how should we treat him? Because you are annoyed, is there no other way we can help to restore your, to help to deal with your complaint without injuring
The other person.
And also, people grow. People grow. Yes, today, this person is behaving the way he's, but tomorrow, you see, like now, I'll give an example. Flavia was a presenter on radio. Today, she's in charge of a TV. So now, what do you say now? So my principle was, and in fact, in my last months, I had a very interesting situation. A very senior government official in security summoned me for a meeting. Said, you must come at 9:30 tomorrow with all your editors. I said, what's the problem, sir? He said, he described what the problem was. I said, okay, I am coming, but I am coming alone. Why? I said, because I am the only person in the organization who is politically responsible for what's going on. So, since I am meeting political bosses, I'm coming alone. I'm not bringing professionals who are just doing their professional work. They are not part of this thing to come and be in this meeting so that you either humiliate them or humiliate me in front of them.
Or intimidate them.
Yeah. He thought I was joking. Then he called me and said, I've postponed the meeting to 5. I said, I'll be there. So then he called again and said 5:30. I said, fine. So I went and waited outside. He arrived. I walked into the room. He was seated at the head of the table, and on each side there were 6 officers. On each side. Each one with a document of complaints against New Vision and Kabushenga. So I said, if I had come with my team, this would have ended very badly.
I know.
Now, also, we can exchange words. Now, imagine me exchanging words with the senior person and my people are watching. How will that end? We talked from 5:30 to 10 p.m. and failed to agree. And we walked out, all of us. We had failed to agree because I refused certain things which they wanted me to do. I said no. But I can't say that in front of my subordinates.
I know.
So, you must understand your responsibility as the team leader.
Oh, so that takes me back now. When you say that, takes me back to one time I was with Joseph the Younger.
Yes.
The man I hold in very, very, very,
He's a very good man.
very high esteem.
He's a very good man with a high moral.
Yeah. We went to UCC. Musajja nanjirawo omubiri. He was the head of radio.
Yes.
So as we moved out, I told him, Pidding at Azze, Nanga, you wait. When he's needed, I'll tell you we go with him.
Yes.
So we sit in his car, we get to UCC. Yes. He tells me, you keep quiet. Say nothing.
Yes.
Allow me
To manage this issue.
So I see it, you know how UCC intimidates psychologically.
Oh.
They sit now SNO eri. Bakutuze eri ngekukuba mu direct. Ne boogera ebigambo nga mutwalo kali batukokugamba nti what do you have to say for yourself?
Abdul Salam.
What do you have to say for yourself? Nga nemimiro gikaze. So, as I was going to say, he told me, so he's like, okay, guys, we've heard what you have to say. Let us go to Wayemweri, then I'll get back to you. But what he did later on, as I left, he drops me at office. Then the next day he comes
To meet these guys.
to meet these guys to explain to them that guys, this is the guy between atukwatiridde naye jjukira bo balinamu entalo zaabwe zino ziri maybe byatandyogeredde wano kati wano alese UCC agiwadde amaanyi gaayo egasigazza
kati nga kye wabadde ogamba omuyimbi azze ali star ate n'ennyimba ze zibakwatiridde
butereevu
naye ate Lwamiti amukubye nnyo amunyiizizza
amwokyezza
kati najja mu office ewange kati nina okumuwooyawooya kamanyi kati awo afuluma mu office nga olaba bossi yayogedde bulungi kati yono busungu ne bukendeera kati bw'oba omwagala next time or something kati ono n'omuyita mpanuga naye kakati kendeeza kuki
kuba manenge nakubuuza nti bo abakozi did you at one point call them
yes
not to tell them you're doing something wrong blah 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 but maybe
I had another principle which I still live by. If you make a mistake, it's a learning opportunity. If you commit a crime, you will be punished. So you have to understand that young people will experiment, will try boundaries, they will do all sorts of things. It's part of their growth and development. Now, how you respond to them will determine what happens to that process. Don't kill a person who is still trying to grow. Because for you grew and you became what you did because people supported you. If they had killed your dreams and your trials by telling you this is wrong, then you would not have done it. So quietly, then you also explain to you, then you understand that, oh, but by the way, this musician is not as innocent as he thinks. Yeah. So that is how you are both a leader, but you're also a parent.
At Red Pepper, we had what the guys used to tell us. Do you have facts? If you say, guy, yade ayingira hotel, better know bujulizi.
Yes.
Kati bine bisigadde byongera ko tibe bayingira hotel ne begatta ne tumala nga bewuba. There is one fact. They are going to ask, were you at that place?
At that
I
time.
was. Finished. End of story.
Kati waliwo olumu twafuna obuzibu nagenda bano gai nagenda nendaba mwami Katende nsooka njogeramu na bikwano gyange abali emengo nagenda ewa mwami Katende muyitiramu Katende agakale nja kuddira next day nankubye nanga jangu nengendayo nayogedde n'omukulu kati genda wetonde. I left office, went on radio and TV, apologized to the Kabaka, ensonga netera nekiggwa. Biri ebyebweru ne bikoma naye n'omunda ne tuwidda mu lutalo kati. Why did you apologize? Ne mbagamba bannange, I was saving your jobs. We had dropped the sales of Bukede from 17,000 to 8,000. Where do you think we are going?
The guys had boycotted
properly. Nagenda nensinkana abasajja ku paaka eri enatete nedda bwayise nogamba mukulu genda wetondere Kabaka ffe twagala kusoma mawulire gaffe abakyala batubanja gundi abakyala batubanja senga
bagala sibasenga.
What is an apology? An apology doesn't take anything away from you. Kati eno munda netwe sorting. Nengeri ebweru kikoze ki?
Kiwedde.
Ate kiteredde.
Wow. Running media is not simple.
Hey.
Actually dealing around people's opinions. Now finally, as we wind up, abayimbi. I think Bukedde held in my thinking, the golden generation of Ugandan music.
Yes.
Bukedde held it.
Yes.
We would want to say this, that, but that was the time. Nga bw'oba tolanze kivulu ku Bukedde. Oba tolanze.
Soko oleke ekivulu. Mugiyita ki? Power play. Kati waliwo power play. Okoze video, okoze biki. Abantu okukumanya nti gy'oli waliriizinze oliyimba ng'olina okubeera ku Bukedde. Lwaki? Because abantu b'okubukedde it was the biggest channel in the best market.
Yeah.
Nga buli wamu.
How are you able to deal with musicians?
It's very simple. Once you understand that a musician is a normal person, then because when they would come.
Didn't you have like random phone calls? Mwami Kabushenga, nse bebe cool. Omwana wange yanyogedde kwatu oba obeera otudde mu office yo nga aguse.
Ojjukira ono omwana yali ayimba ne Bobi Wine baali bamuyita Kabaya. Kabaya yankubirako essimu ku ssaawa 9 ekiro ne basi.
At 3 a.m.
Ono ali wano. Alowooza oba ati abakukubira amasimu essaawa zino. Ssaawa 9 Kabaya akuba essimu ze. Naye Kabaya Kabaya kitayinza kulinda paka nkya. That was my life. Oba oli awo otudde ku ssaawa 5:23 nga secretary akugamba nti waliwo wano omuntu ani Grace Nakimera ayagala kulaba. Naye olowooza obuzibu nti because they are superstars abayimbi abasinga naddala abakyala ng'ennyambala ayingira official otulula ate nga ayingiddemu ali yekka nawe oli wekka kati balirire ebirowoozo ebiri eri wawe.
Those days Grace nga pike
wano
abaana ne bagamba
bosi olwalera
Kabushenga yeyagalidde mu kifo kino. Kumbe nawe you're seated there you're speaking.
Oyagala afulume mangu kubanga bwe mulwawo.
Ate balina ke bakola kati omala omumiitinga toyogera naye awo ogenda owuliraga nti if you want anything you talk to me.
I'll call him.
Kabushenga is my friend.
Yes.
Nnyo mukubira.
Not only Ravana, but they would come. But they were also, for me, they were, I'm fascinated by people. I mean, like you now, I want to know, what is it that drives you? Why are you doing what you're doing? Maybe there's something I need. What do you, and then I learn.
Yeah.
So even those musicians, I learned a lot from those creatives. A lot. Ngabaja, netukuba emboozi awo kati kamiliyoni bwajja ne munyumya. Then you understand him as a person, not a musician, not a superstar.
Ogenolanga, the person you see vis-a-vis the one in front of you.
Two totally different people.
And this one is kinder, he's more understanding.
Polite. Neno ogenda abaya akafuluma mu office yo. Ne bagende we nulira balwanye ekiro kyonna. I think the day before they are talking politely.
So you're looking at this guy and you're like, this guy is okay.
But also, it would be a chance for me to get them to understand us. That this is how the thing works.
Yeah.
So don't get too carried away with your... And they also understood us very well. They also knew that without us, they could not be made. So that we built they understood me, I understood them. And then... nga bampita ku bivulu byabwe. Nze nagendako ku wallet pub.
Ngogenza ku kivulu kya muyimbi.
Nedda nagenda mu bino comedy night bya Moti ne ngeri ku wallet pub.
Nga bakuyise.
Ningenda. Yes, you have to understand their life.
So for you muntu wa wansi, you know the muntu wa wansi.
When people tell me elite mbatunulira nenseka. Nzokuba no muntu wa wansi. Twagendanga mu butale.
I saw another programs zemwaleetanga. There's actually one of the things in those benayagala ennyo. There's that time when mwaleeta court sessions. Court
kumeza
ebyo. Abantu nga Kaziwe Bashir yatuuka nga atuuza audiences.
Kati anti ombuzize ew'omukulu waliwo obuzibu ekiboga eyo ku ttaka bamutuukirira. Sijjukira bulungi kyalo naye ne bamugamba kwene ensonga tukwagala ojogereko ku Bukedde toyogerera walala wonna. Nemanya nti Bukedde era n'atuyita nagamba mugende n'oyo omukulu agenda ayogerere ku Bukedde alina obubaka bwange titugenda naye. N'atuula ne bamukolako interview abantu b'ekiboga ne bakakkana.
Yebyo Yeah, but thank you very much.
I'm happy.
That changed your time at Bukede. I think is your biggest imprint. Yeah. That is your legacy.
Yeah. It's okay.
Watuwa Emboozi yembotikizi. I remember Emboozi yembotikizi saji yingira. Koro mwatekawo training nga tugenda Nambole.
Yeyo.
Bebe kulu nga yamenyeka bamukuba amasasi. Kamiliyoni naye agamba amabwa gaddamu.
Gundi nze namukima mu ambulance gundi sechanzi yali alesa ambulance okuva America ng'erina sayirini
namukima bebe
abaana bagiwulirira wano waliwe usanze wali ekisasi kuba twabe ne tukyukire ngejja awo ne bamanya bebe atuuse
ebisero nabeeranga nnyo naye
kati bebe bw'amala okutuuka njala kyagijjukira bebe bw'amala okutuuka tuba tuli awo Kamiri naye najja Kamiri oba yajja na piki sikyajjukira Kamiri bw'amala ne zireeta Bobi Wine ne Firebase nga balina flame thrower bakuba omuliro ne guyinyira mu stadium ne bafuloba naye abaana bano bitu babijjewa bino Kamiri okujja ku stage yava waggulu kati simanyi oba ojjukira waliwo oluyimba bebe kulu lwe yali akubye kati oba balukola ne Kamiri
boggolako remix ya boggolako bajja aniveiringa
kati bebe amaliriza ne boggolako Kamiri nakkiriza
mu remix
okuva eri waggulu twawulira buwulizi musawo n'ekirowoozo kya etumanya concert ewedde ng'ekisaawe kikubyeko
nze bwe mukima bebe cool emmotoka yali ebaire mabega mwenali netutuuka kuba those days were like you know, with him and even when you were doing all those negotiations twaliwo biki zukira n'agamba Kamiri oyo alipira kati bwe bankuba amasasi mbw ate kati naye amagulu gazeemu nengenda mukuba music
abaana abo bazimba music banaye tukikirize abaana abasatu ne gundi ne mubayimbi
ne Ready and Weasel
ne Juliana there's one person who is not celebrated very much Kyagulanyi oli owa gundi oli Silver umanyi album ya Juliana eri yakubenyo Silver yajiwandika yona. So there was a really talented crop of musicians over Weasel ne gundi no Chaze Swangs yatandika seera ebyo abo abaana bagundi Rabadaba.
That was the time. Yeah. I think for me, in my lifetime, Wendy, and that is the golden age of music. I've not seen it back at that time. Nambole, abantu abatwaira mu train. I think there are two gundi biri ze mukoze. No, ziringa satu ze ndabye. Waliwo Bride and Groom Expo. Je mwakolako. Oba yali Lugogo. Oba yali wa.
Lugogo.
It must have been the second or third edition. It was like this. Then
awatwakyusa entegeka y'embaga mu Kampala.
Yes. Then mukola embutu y'embotikizi eyo. Then waliwo this bino ebintu by'okulima sibimanyi nnyo naye era nabyo byali Nambole awo
yasembayo Nambole abantu bajja emitwalo
3 abantu baali bangi wenzijukirira naye na gayi wange Isdo ayina enkoko wano
wakiso
wano mu Lusanja bayita mu Lusanja booti bayitawo batya ali awo Isdo. They have a very big farm there. So he came to my place and said, Jango mperekereko, njagala genda, waliwo eddagala linjagala okujja eyo biki. So I'm like, because well, for me, I'm not so into farming.
Yeah, true.
Ntandika kati butandisi.
Ojja kujja mpola mpola.
Kati natuuka nga ndabaga tractor. I was like, naye ng'abantu
bakubyeko abantu bali bangi.
It's like,
abantu bali
so,
bangi.
Building a brand like that was not something that was easy.
No.
Era when we had your exit, we were like, wow.
Nga bwe nkugambye ekiseera kituuka. Wagawe yongereyo. Tokayana.
You have to.
Yeah,
but at least
nakati bongo bye.
But at least for you, you've left your footprint. You have a legacy.
did what
And
I
I
did.
think one of the things that really made me happy about your legacy and time at Bukede, as you left Moane Minga Pike House.
Yes.
I was like, where?
Yes. People have to remember how we started.
Exactly. I don't know simaiche bagikolera mwao
abaseruzi yalinga club yaffe nga tukonera
abantu batamanyi club silk awo yali music awo yasekeranga oba okitegeera. So that is Robert Kabushenga. But one thing I think I've learned from all of this, you need to dare. You need to dare. There are some walls you're going to break because you've dared to. Nogawanuka nombewo. Ochitegeera. So, but then also you need to be prepared, and then you need to also be lucky.
But you also need to believe in yourself.
Yeah. You need to. You need to be so tambula. So for the people out there, movie woody day. Thank you very much for your time.
Kale mukulu, webale kunchaza
Kati nange nsubira one time you should host me. That podcast you do with
Bad Natives.
Yeah, you host me. I want you to host me with Andrew Mwenda and Charles Onyangobo.
Actually, we should, because
yeah,
you can njogere nawo.
Netugenda kwogera ku ki when you host.
Ante kati awo kyonookola gwe kati kyofaako kiri kimu oluzungu. Olina okugenda osome dictionary.
So I'm imagining a situation like this. So you're introducing me like, we have Kasuku on the podcast. Then Mwenda is like, yes, Kasuku, exactly what brings you here? So we know Yingiram. No, let me finish the introductions. Kati gwangamba chimunti gwebera ngokola what. Gwetogenda kunta sako. Mwenda batandika. I think this young man can elaborate more. So Mr. Kasuku, mbera atandika anti. For me, I think, wait, Mr. Kasuku, let us hear from Mr. Jason Yangobo. Kadigo wa kamera ndeka yo ngakola bit. Yes, I believe. Tuja kutasa. So that has been it, guys. Until next time, mubere bulungi. Don't forget, go check out Robert Kabushenga's podcast. It's called Bad Natives. It's also on YouTube, so you could go and check Bad Natives on YouTube and you subscribe. Yeah, and you can watch the stuff. Their stuff is a bit more serious than ours, but yeah. And we hope maybe next time you can take us to your farm.
Yes.
Talk show. No, Sandy, Jenkins.
Yeah, but I'll plan for you in April.
We go. One Saturday.
Yes. Very early in the morning.
Because your farm is just here.
It's very near. Mulavene betunoge mwanyi and how we work, what we do. Let people see. Because people think it is...
Maybe you can inspire me into farming.
Asoko malirize bino.
Soke mbere mu bino.
Ebibozi abantu
balerewo. Okoze kalike wakozeko X. Jaffe ku sente tetuliiko.
Era
kati nawe ogambye tojje eno ffe tuli mu mwanyi.
Soko tuleke na.
The views expressed on Kasuku Live do not reflect those of the host, producers, or management. They are solely of individuals providing them and do not represent or reflect the official policy or position of this YouTube channel.
Abakyala werezo omuyomba enyembuto katonda yekyembuto genda wegiwaminge yabaweereza buno bukeeke obutini
singa baabumutwale bamumusonseka mu kamwa bwonna n'abufulumiza mu nnyindo
kibwa alina guno omuggo gwa musa waitisita premium detergent
waliwo wanagambye embula y'akasajja kasendi kalimba bannange esendi bannange